What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the class. Today we're going to talk about the best possible car you can utilize for any of the services we've talked about. Delivery, rideshare, Instacart, Amazon Flex. The best car in today's economy, hands down, is the Tesla. Now, the reason why the Tesla is so great is for obvious reasons. Gas is extremely high right now. Obviously that could change, but it's not looking like it will anytime soon. And the reality is gas costs have made it extremely tough for a lot of delivery drivers and rideshare drivers. For instance, Uber Eats, you're no longer even getting a gas surcharge, which obviously really changes the equation for this. But the reality is the reason why the Tesla is so great goes much further beyond just the gas costs. Now, on top of that, most Teslas get about 300 miles on each charge, give or take. So for most services, that's going to be all you'll really need in that day, which means you can get a full day of work in, and then you can go to a supercharging station at a grocery store or wherever, charge up, takes about 40 minutes. It's a good time to decompress. I mean, you could even just watch some Netflix or something while it's charging up. And on top of that, you're good to go then. And you're saving a significant amount of money throughout the span of a year of driving if you are using a Tesla. The reality is, too, the cheaper models aren't that much harder to finance than any other car. So it's not an option that isn't viable for any of us. It's a very viable option and something that we could all utilize and something we should all consider, especially with where the future's headed. But on top of that, there's so many other things that go into this equation. The wear and tear on this vehicle is significantly less. Now, I don't fully understand how cars work myself, but what I know from friends of mine that have owned Teslas and people I know that have owned them or driven them is that a lot of the maintenance that you're doing on a normal vehicle, you don't actually have to do on a Tesla. A huge benefit and another cost that adds in. Think of something like oil changes that cost anywhere from $40 to $150 depending on your vehicle. If you have to do that every month and a half because of the amount of driving you do, that's a cost that adds up right there. Your brakes and rotors are not something that you're going to deal with anymore because these are staying in way longer because of how the system operates in the vehicles. It's a massive difference. But the other side of this too is if you're doing something like Uber and Lyft, you're not going to, if you're using a Tesla for something like Uber and Lyft, this is now a much higher class vehicle than what they're used to. Teslas are very nice. They're a very good experience for the passenger. And it's a nicer vehicle, meaning you're going to get nicer tips. Let's not forget they're also very fast, which shouldn't be the reason you get them. But you know, let's be honest, we all end up speeding on these jobs from time to time. I do not recommend speeding ever, but I know in my experience, there were some times where I ended up speeding when passengers were not in the car, trying to get out of traffic real quick. You never know. So all in all, guys, out of all the vehicles you could drive, if you have the ability to get a Tesla, that is the one you're going to want to take. Thank you guys for watching this video and utilizing this class. And I will talk to you guys soon.